Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. What I wanted to talk today about is an experience I had probably a week or so ago. It kind of ties into some of my other videos relating to Taurus system field around us and we call the chakras and the bodies that I mentioned before are also fields within the Taurus field. It was about a week ago. I was laying in bed, and where my bed is now, there the light from the cat automated cleaning cat litter box shines in there, the ultraviolet light, when it comes on after the cats use it, which so it creates a little bit of that ultraviolet glow into the bedroom. So I'm laying in bed and I look over to my right side and I see a field is the only way I can describe it. Uh, if you've ever seen something like saran wrap, that paper that you can put over top of containers that kind of sticks. So if you took something like that and crunched it up, so it'd be kind of a crunchy saran wrap looking kind of a field, and it was moving slightly, not to the point to where it was jumping all over, but there was definitely a vibrational movement to it. I could see through it; it was clear. I could see the walls and the rooms and everything else around it, and it was just kind of hanging there. Now, whether the UV light had some influence on the fact I was able to see this clearer or not, I'm not really positive. I did see it again another time. It wasn't quite as clear. So the UV light may have had some impact on being able to see that. So anyway, what happened was I reached out my right arm, because it was on the right side, um, to see if I could touch it. And what I found was that this field was about the distance from the shoulder to the wrist away from my body. Now, I've seen this clear field around the body before, but it's only been just a very short distance. This is the first time I've seen something like this to that extent. So I reached out with my right hand, and as I made contact with this field with my fingers, I could watch the field kind of move with my fingers slightly as though I was pushing through a very, maybe some thin paper or something. And it went with it, and then my hand went through it. There was no sound or noise that my hand snapped through this field. And then, of course, that little field came back out to where it was. So my fingers were through this field. When I touched it, the feeling was similar to what I could say is if you touched a very light spider web, and as you that kind of a little slight tingly feeling on my fingers and my hands. So I pulled my hand back through it again, and as I did, the field came with my hand slightly and then snapped back into position, and it was just like it was before. So then I stuck my fingers back through, and I raised the push, see if I could push the field up, and I could. I could compact this field slightly. I could compact this field slightly to the point to where it wasn't quite as clear anymore, and you could see just a slight gap below. And as I was doing up and down with that, and then of course it filled back in. And then I was able to swirl it, move it around, and of course I moved the field, created like a slight opening, and then when I stomped, it refilled itself back in again, indicating to me that it is one of the bodies. Exactly what body that is, whether it's the etheric level or some other, I don't know. But it's the field that is around us, that surrounds us. It's that energy field that others feel and come in contact, that I talk a lot about in my books, about how we sense and feel each other. But it's also related to the torsion field. So anyway, I wanted to pass that on to you guys and about that, so that maybe you could even play a little bit yourself and see whether an ultraviolet light, if you have one, shine it kind of indirectly, and see if maybe that would help you to see those fields. I've also had another time recently where I was working with my crystals, and I was in the dark, and I was able to see the lines. The only way I can describe it would be like a fishing net over top of the crystals. It created like a net and a dome over top of it. And the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is, one, so you can play a little bit too. Is it two, I've talked about as we move deeper into the fourth dimension that we're going to have less limitations. We're going to be able to see and do more. And to me, this is another example of that taking place. And for those of you who read my books, I am working on the fourth book, which relates to the programs that are going to have to change as we move into the fourth dimension, how those changes are going to take place, and some of that you're starting to see already. I've done a video on that before, but this will go into a lot more depth on that, on how it's happening. So that's what this, so this is related to that as well, the fact that we are shifting through and things are changing. Anyway, have yourself a good day and enjoy it.